Other news, a southern Kentucky man is dead after being stabbed in his home. The violence happened in the Gray community of Knox County.
Police say the 67-year-old man was stabbed to death by his stepson. Court records show that the victim had sworn out an EPO against his stepson. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is following the investigation. It's our top story at 5:30.
It was about 5:30 Tuesday evening when Kentucky State Police were called to the Highway 1232 area in the Gray community of Knox County.
There was two individuals inside this residence, the homeowner along with his stepson. An altercation took place, and during that altercation the stepson brandished a knife and began stabbing his stepfather multiple times.
Police say 67-year-old Norman McCreary was found dead in the home. Two of his grandchildren, a 12 and a 4-year-old, were also inside and witnessed the stabbing that they say was at the hands of Eric Hibbard.
What we can tell you is that this scene occurred just behind the front door, right in the living room. What led up to this, we're still trying to investigate to figure out what caused the argument.
Norman McCreary had recently gone to the courthouse to swear out an emergency protective order against his stepson, Eric Hibbard. We're not exactly sure what led up to all of this, but we are told that there had been another violent incident in his home just a few weeks ago. Not long after the stabbing, police say they caught up with Hibbard. An arrest citation states someone saw Hibbard place items inside a trash can.
We located Mr. Hibbard running down the highway, was able to place him into custody first.
Hibbard is in the Knox County Jail charged with murder. He said he did not want to talk to us about the allegations. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And court records indicate that a hearing over the EPO was set to take place July 26, but the petitioner did not show up. It was then rescheduled for August 9th.